If you feel like you're ready to start pursuing your biggest goals but feel stuck before you even begin, this episode is for you. This week, we're going to be talking about how to finally get some momentum towards making your goals happen, all while being loving and kind to yourself every step of the way. Hi there, my friends. We're finally here. We're ready to talk about action. I know a lot of times we can get impatient, and by we, I also mean me, with the whole process. And we want to jump straight from our desire to action without doing all of this pesky mindset work. But trust me, you are going about this the right way, and you're going to be so happy that you did. I want you to think about how many times you decided you were just going to do something. You set your mind to save money or to lose weight or to start the business or write the book. You even created a whole plan because you know we love a good plan. And you meticulously laid out all the steps and excitedly started out your plan on day one, and you had everything in the calendar. But somewhere around day five or day three, if you're me, you start to lose steam. You start to feel discouraged or like things aren't happening quickly enough. The problem isn't with your plan. The problem isn't even with you. The issue at hand are the thoughts that you took with you into your journey, the hidden, sneaky beliefs that you're holding on to, unaware of their impact on your ability to succeed. That is why we started 2 weeks ago talking about all of the beliefs, all of the things that come up, all of the self defeating, self sabotaging thoughts, so that you would recognize them, so that you would notice the impact they have on you and make a decision to not allow that impact to carry forward. You've done your work on mindset. Now, let me be very clear. That part, the mindset work, that work never ends. You've just done the massive job of uncovering and revealing the thoughts that may hold you back. Now, your forever homework is to manage those thoughts. When they pop back up, and they will, you want to manage them with kindness, with love, and with patience for yourself. And soon, what you're going to notice is that the frequency of those pop ups is going to reduce. The length of time that they keep you down is going to decrease tremendously. And you're going to notice their impact is going to lessen over time. You're going to get to the point where you will recognize the old thought, you're going to allow it, feel all the feels, and then make a decision to think something that better serves you in reaching your goals. And that process, my friend, it gets easier and easier. Now, I don't know if I should have said easy as any part of it, but it gets easier with time and it becomes like second nature. You just allow the process. So now let's talk about how to move into action. One of the first things that you're probably going to find yourself come up against when you start to get into action or wanting to move into action is the dreaded, I don't know. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. I don't know who can help me. I don't know if I'm on the right path. Your brain is going to inundate you with success's arch enemy, uncertainty. Uncertainty is a showstopper for most people. When there isn't clarity, there's fear. And where there is fear, the brain wants no parts of it. So you're going to need to know how to overcome these I don't know thoughts simply by forcing your brain to push past them. Dangerous women don't tussle with uncertainty. Even in uncertainty, we walk in the confidence that whatever it is, we can figure it out. If that's not part of your personal dangerous woman manifesto, add it right now. I always figure things out. Add that to your manifesto. And I need you to lean into this part of your identity. Find some times where this is true. I bet you won't have to go back very far in order to find a time where that was true. I mean, let's be honest. How many times per week do you figure out what to wear in your closet that has nothing to wear? Or how about like what you're going to feed your family? When you're tired and you're out of ideas, you always figure it out. It's who you are. So your job is to figure it out. When your brain serves up, I don't know, ask yourself, what would I do if I did know? What's the first thing I need in order to know? Where can I look? Who can I ask? Can I Google it and get some direction? I mean, let's not underestimate the power of Google. Just about anything you need to know can be found on Google, YouTube, or even TikTok these days. There is no excuse to let I don't know reign supreme and stall you. I want you to recognize also that there's comfort in I don't know. When you don't know, you just don't know. It's a shoulder shrug. There's nothing else to do after that. And that can feel safe and comfortable if you're attempting to do something that you've never done before. So don't let yourself stay there. The goal is not 100% comfort, not if the intention is to grow and to achieve bigger goals and to live a life that you've been dreaming about. And if that's what you're going for, you need to accept that some things are just going to feel uncomfortable. And that is almost always an indication that you're moving in the right direction. I was talking to my coach Sheila last week about this very thing. And I remember the first few times I was invited to speak in front of crowds. And I'm not talking small groups. I'm talking large crowds of people. I spoke at an Air Force base. I spoke at my college founders day in front of alumni, current students, faculty, and staff. The first few times I was asked to speak, I procrastinated on saying yes because I was terrified, but I knew that it was part of God's process for me. I knew I needed to do the one thing that my brain was screaming at me not to do in order to reach some of my biggest goals, many of them that I wasn't even clear on what they were at the time. But every time it got easier. And recently, I did a few live TV segments in some of the biggest markets here in the US, New York and DC. And when I tell you, I was literally in tears. I was, because I thought about the discomfort of those moments, the moments that I don't know, the moments of fear, the moments of pushing past, I don't know, the uncertainty that I pushed through. It had all brought me to here right now, speaking to you each week, showing up everywhere I possibly can in order to help as many women as I possibly can. It would have never happened had I not leaned into discomfort. So I want to encourage you to rise to the challenge. Let yourself feel all the feelings. You know, we don't avoid any feelings around here. They're all welcome. They're all valid. Let yourself feel them and then go do it anyways. Now, you should be at the point where you have answers. You have something to stand on. You have at least step one. And step one is all you need. You do not need to have the entire blueprint laid out perfectly in front of you. I know you want that, but I want you to know that that is a disadvantage for you to attempt to have the entire blueprint, because so much is revealed to you within the process. And it all starts with you just simply taking step one. And as you take step one, because you've pushed past your I don't know, you're going to see what works, what doesn't work, and you're going to be able to adjust accordingly. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to figure out just two things. First, what is your ultimate goal? If you're acting right, and you've already done your homework, if you're being a good dangerous woman, then you've already done your homework from the last 2 weeks and you already know what your ultimate goal is. Now, if you're not, you need to go back and do the first and second homework assignments from the last 2 episodes. Don't try and skip steps here, sis. We're not doing that. The second thing I want you to figure out is, what is your next step? It may not be your first step because you may have already done that. I want you to know what you need to do next in order to move closer to reaching the goal. And then I want you to go do that. And I want you to give yourself a time in which you're going to do that. I want you to create milestones and set targets for that next step. And every day I want you to check in with yourself. Where are you on the scale of belief about your goal happening? You need to know this. It's not always going to be a 10. You're not always going to feel an 100% belief that your goal is going to happen, but you need to know if it's a 1, because if you're not believing your goal is going to happen, your thoughts will create actions that will almost ensure that you're right. You'll self-sabotage. And if you happen to have a day where your belief is in the tank, because it happens to all of us, where we want to quit, we want to throw in the towel, we want to go back to corporate, we want to go back to the pharmacy, we want to, whatever it looks like, and your belief is in the tank, you think it's never going to happen, it's okay. I want you to ask yourself in that moment, what is it that you need? Where can you find even the smallest sliver of belief to hang on to? I can't tell you how many times I have felt like nothing was working, feeling like it was never going to work, only to get a message, a text, a DM, a comment on something I posted that talks about how helpful the post was to them, or a message from a client telling me how much our working together has changed their life. Those are lifesavers for me. And I want you to find these same breadcrumbs, put them somewhere. I have an entire folder on my phone just for this purpose. I keep those messages there for the times that I want to give up and give in. You also need to know if you need to legitimately take a break. As ambitious women, we will push ourselves no matter what. We won't leave space for anything but that hustle and go that is innate to so many of us. You need to be able to determine those moments where it is not just you being lazy or not wanting to follow through, but you just really need to take a beat and take some rest. You also need to know when it is just you being lazy and not wanting to follow through, or being afraid and fearful or whatever. One of my coaches used to refer to this as following your toddler brain. Think about a toddler that you know, or maybe one that you raised. You're not just going to let that toddler do whatever they want to do every single time they want to do it, are you? You may let them get away one time with wearing their pajamas and cowboy boots to school, but you're not going to let that be their permanent attire, right? You're going to gently explain to them that you understand that they really want to wear their PJs to school, but that it's just not what is going to happen moving forward. That it's important that they wear actual clothes to school. You may even let them pick out something they like, or promise them that as soon as they come home, they can put on their favorite PJs and cowboy boots. The same is true for your toddler brain. You can negotiate, but there comes a time when you have to be the adult. You may not feel like doing things all of the time, and your job is to find your balance. Now, at the end of each week, I want you to evaluate 3 things. What worked? What didn't work? Without being all judgy and mean to yourself. In the most matter-of-fact way, what didn't work, and not making it mean anything about you. And the third thing is, what will you do different next week, in that order? Because I know you. You're going to start with what didn't work, and you're going to have a list that is a mile long with all of the judgments of yourself to match. I want you to start with what did work as you're moving towards your goals and you're taking action, and you must put something on that list, even if it seems simple and mundane. It's really important for you to see this. Now, if you really want to get fancy, find an accountability partner. Someone who's working towards a similar goal is ideal. One of my accountability partners is a friend of mine who happens to also be a life coach who is building her business. So it's fun because we kind of go in between being accountability partners and then also like doing some illegal coaching. When one says something and the other one's like, ugh. And then you start coaching. That's the benefit of being a coach with coach friends. I want you to find that person for you. I want you to find an accountability partner. Tell that person your goal. Tell them your timeline, your milestones. Share them with that person so that they can hold you accountable. And as you get closer to the next step, I want you to start looking at it like a piece of the puzzle. Each step is a part of the bigger picture, and it needs to be in alignment. Always keep the bigger picture in the forefront of your mind. So as you're making decisions about each next step, you can see if it lines up with you achieving your bigger overarching goal. Okay, my friends, that's it for this week. Your homework is to do the next step. Now, do not spend a whole lot of time confusing yourself with multiple options. That's just your brain's way of stalling. You will never, ever know what works and what doesn't work if you don't move. So, your job is to move. Take the next best step and do your work throughout the process. Did I mention that we're almost at 10,000 downloads in less than 1 year? In honor of your commitment and your hard work and your listening to me and putting up with my homework and my sometimes bossiness, I want to do something special for you. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to write a review for this show on whatever platform you listen to it on every week. I want you to write a review and then send me a message, just something quick on social media or email, whichever is easier for you, with your name and your email address. Because I'm going to be doing a special exclusive live class for you all to help get you ready to end 2022 with a bang and to bust 2023 wide open. So that's it. Write a review, which helps other people find this podcast, and then send me your email address and name. And if you've already written one, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Just let me know that, and I'll include your name on the list for our VIP class. Easy enough, right? And I can't wait to see you all live and in person. We're going to have so much fun. Have an amazing rest of your week, ladies. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.